Okay, so guys, what do we have here? We finished the donation part, and I actually have great text, big, good text from Prometheus UA today. It's something that he sent to me today. He said it's kind of a confession or something. Let me actually quote him there. It's an address to Americans. Everything that got in me for the whole life, it's some kind of a confession. It is also a love confession, disappointment, hope, and gratitude. And wow, so he has photos there. He has a song with which we should begin this one. So I really want to share that. This one is called America. It is from Брати Гадюкіни. Брати Гадюкіни band. Okay, let's go.
Коли Black Night зміняє білий день, і піпел весь відпочиває після ворку, я не встигаю затулить очей, як своїх крилс I'm flying до Нью-Йорку. Дуже добре жити нам, чесним всім робітникам, присоєцькій владі, но мечтає хоч би раз до Америки попасти. Everybody, America, you say many will come to America. Я кажу, oh yeah, America, допливу коли-небудь я до твого берега. America, you say many will come to America. Я кажу, oh yeah, America, допливу коли-небудь я до твого берега. Come on. Я буду їздити на гарі по хайвею, в Макдональді сосиску буду їсти я, із файною герлою я ж і познайомлю, і може честь мені віддасть поліція. Пару час перших днів, знову злодій не грантів в Централ парку. Врешті тільки наркомани, курачі з марихуаною, цигарки. America, you say many will come to America. Я кажу, oh yeah, America, допливу коли-небудь я до твого берега. America, you say many will come to America. Я кажу, oh yeah, America, допливу коли-небудь я до твого берега. Я на Бродвею мішка Джегіра зустріну, до Тіни Тернер в гості разом ми підем. Паду я перед нею даун на коліна, і ми онлайн разом веснею проведем. Вона say мені бай-бай, заспіває лалабай, слипа, бейте. Скажу я give me your hand, I want you to be my friend. На землі, на небі. America, you say many will come to America. Я кажу, oh yeah, America.
Nice. So this song is from 1989. I noticed that. Prometheus. Guys, listen to what Rick is going to read now. This is my confession to the United States. I poured out my soul for you. Yeah, guys, Prometheus UA, one of the rollers, a Ukrainian roller. I think that man is capable of really expressing not only his thoughts very well, but also his great view and vision of the political situation, geopolitical situation. Prometheus UA is a talented person, and I want to share that with you. This is his message. Recently, I heard this song accidentally, and I wanted to address all Americans. I was born when the USSR still existed, but I don't remember much. Everything was gray and indistinct. My first memories coincided with the moment when Ukraine became independent. The Iron Curtain fell and information from abroad began to flow to Ukraine. American cartoons and movies began to appear on television. I, along with whole generations in Ukraine, grew up watching Tom and Jerry, Chip and Dale, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rocky, Rambo, Arnie movies, and the Friends series, which I watched many times. My Christmas movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, not Die Hard. I know what Thanksgiving is. In 8-bit games playing baseball as a kid, I understood the rules myself, which is pretty hard for someone from outside the US. And yes, I understand what third base is, if you know what I mean. But come on, you play egg hand. Football is what we play here. Watching movies and documentaries, I learned your cultural code. I doubt that in Europe there is more sympathy for the US than Ukrainians. Ukrainians have an image of Americans who always stand for justice, freedom, and democracy. As early as 1857, the greatest Ukrainian poet Taras Shevchenko wrote the following lines in his poem The Half-Wit. When will we greet our own George Washington at last with the new law of righteousness? Oh, there's no doubt that they will see. You saved Europe in the First World War. During the Second World War, you sent hundreds of thousands of military trucks to the USSR through the Lend-Lease program. Thousands of American Sherman tanks, long before Brad Pitt, fought the Nazi in Ukraine. Thousands of American planes, hundreds of thousands of tons of food to prevent famine. For a short period, American pilots flying B-17 bombers were based in the Ukrainian city of Poltava. You saved half of Korea. Without you, there would be no South Korea. You tried to save Vietnam from communism. You genuinely wanted to help. Ukraine could be the best ally of the United States. After all, in all those wars, you fought with your own people, and thousands of Americans died. And this is what makes America great. Not the moon landing, the invention of the internet, or the hot dog. Ukraine is a special friend of the United States, because we never asked to send American soldiers. A legendary Ukrainian warrior wrote quite exhaustively on a wall in a bombed-out city, "We are not asking for too much. We just need some artillery shells and aviation. Rest, we do ourselves." I don't know the word "do ourselves," but here it is. Armed Forces of Ukraine. It is actually written in Suja, guys. It is written by Vitaly Ovcharenko, if I'm not mistaken. He is from Donetsk Oblast himself. From Donetsk itself, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, here it is. After all, since the early 90s, Ukraine has repeatedly participated in peacekeeping missions to help the Americans. Several dozen of Ukrainian soldiers were killed in these missions. In one of the missions, the American gave Ukraine several military Humvees. They immediately became symbol of the new Western non-post-Soviet Ukrainian army. It was in a Humvee that the Minister of Defense opened the military parade on Ukraine's Independence Day. That's fantastic. You can see this photo here, guys. Indeed, it is a symbol of the new non-Soviet Ukraine. I agree here with Prometheus UA a lot. From the very beginning of Ukraine's independence, we have been cooperating with the United States, but you know the stories. When one person really loves someone and that person just pushes them away in return. Only here, it is at the level of countries. Just a few days before the collapse of the USSR, the US President George H.W. Bush came to Ukraine and gave one of the most shameful speeches in US history, which was called Chicken Kyiv. In the parliament, he urged Ukrainians not to create an independent Ukraine. The next president, Bill Clinton, in a difficult period of the new state's attitude, pressed Ukraine to give up nuclear weapons. This later became known as Budapest Memorandum, in which the United States, Britain, and Russia pledged to protect Ukrainian sovereignty. Yeah, guys, here is this shameful moment in the Budapest Memorandum. Then there was President George W. Bush with his famous phrase that he looked into Putin's eyes, saw his soul, and that he trusted him. The next one was Obama. Back when he was a senator, he came to Ukraine to oversee the disarmament of Ukraine. And here he is. The fact is that the United States demanded that Ukraine give up not only nuclear weapons. Long-range missiles were taken away, strategic bombers were cut to pieces, and cruise missiles were given to Russia. Yeah, it all happened. Obama's presidency began with a reset with Russia. And this was after Russia had attacked and occupied 20% of Georgia's a few months earlier. Obama did nothing and called it a reset. In 2014, Russia attacked Ukraine, and guess what Obama did? Again, nothing. Moreover, there was such a strong control over Ukraine that Ukrainian biathlonists, a sport with skiing and shooting, could hardly buy sporting rifles. Trump was not much different from Obama. 30 javelins were transferred with a ban on their deployment at the front, but this was done by someone from Trump's team. Then there was Biden, who was listening to Sullivan regulations of escalation. This is when there was never any talk of Ukraine winning, and that only Ukraine should not lose. All Ukrainian military experts say that if all the American weapons that were transferred in small batches were transferred at once, Ukraine would win in the autumn of 2022. And now Trump and its disaster. Everything is moving from America first to America alone. Not all of you realize it, but what the US is doing now will turn your allies and friends away from you for decades. Who will buy American weapons, ammunition, and spare parts for which the United States can ban at the moment when they are needed for defense? The Westerners never listened to us, although smart people in Ukraine warned us what would happen after the 2008 war in Georgia and Germany's construction of Nord Stream 2. We said that your influencers are being bought. Smart and even pro-Ukrainian Americans said they were just useful idiots. Then it turned out that the Russians were directly funding Team Pool and several other American bloggers. The FBI made a report on the investigation of another 600 cases. I'll say more. Many of your journalists from respected publications have also sold out to Russia. They are just not funded directly from Russia, but through third persons. The same scheme works for American politicians. It is no coincidence that they repeat Russian propaganda word for word. Yeah, You can see what is on that screenshot. Media startup from Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Dave Rubin was secret Russian influence campaign. Indictment alleges. A couple of years ago, I heard from very smart Ukrainians that Trump was interfered with by state institutions in his first term. And he prepared himself. And he would be elected president, and things would only get worse. I didn't want to believe it, but they were right. American experts say that US state institutions are very strong and will not allow Trump to usurp power. Everything is under control. And do you know what Ukrainian experts are saying now? They are wondering if these institutions are not so unique and strong, and no one has really attacked the US government in a real way. Ukraine has a long history with oligarchy. Most of them have fled abroad, and one is in jail, and I congratulate you on the first American oligarch. But you have gone further. None of the Ukrainian oligarchs have ever walked around the president's office on camera wearing a t-shirt and a cap with their child saying, "Shush your mouth" to the president. In Ukraine, they always kept their power in Ukraine hidden and behaved more modestly. By the way, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, is again promoting his tweet from 2022, where he describes what Ukraine should do. And one of the points is Crimea is formerly part of Russia, as it has been since 1783, until Khrushchev's mistake, so-called. Foreigners don't know about this. Musk got caught up in the reference to Khrushchev because this is an everyday phrase of ordinary Russians. Musk definitely heard it from Russians. After all, if he had been interested in this period from historical books, or at least Wikipedia, he would have learned that the documents were signed by Malenkov and Voroshilov, because Khrushchev did not have such power then. There is another myth among Russians, from children to officials, that Catherine the Great gave Alaska to the United States. But in fact, it was Alexander II. By the way, even at the official level, Russians are talking about the return of Alaska. They even write and talk about it on the official level, and they say it only in Russian, not in any other languages. And more advanced Russians even mention California in the 19th century. For a short period of time, they had a fort there next to San Francisco. This photo from Russia shows an image of Alaska, and the caption, "We will teach you to love the motherland." This is a phrase Russia used to intimidate representatives of other countries. Yeah, that's what they do. Ukrainians heard it many times before 2014. Musk and Trump are talking about the threat of World War III, so Ukraine should do whatever Russia wants. I wonder how long before Russia wants Alaska back. And then there will be this logic from the Americans. Give Alaska back or World War III. I think this will open the eyes of many Americans. You will also learn that the distance between the Russian Federation and the USA is only 2 miles, Bering Strait. The Americans will mostly not hear us again, and over time you will feel how you as a people are losing your country. This happened in Ukraine in 2014, but we already had the experience of the 2004 revolution. We had enough people who knew what to do. Rallies against the government are frequent, for example in Belarus in 2020 and in Georgia in 2024. They are the same because people go out and return home in the evening. In both of these countries, these rallies led to nothing. In Ukraine, it's not called Maidan for nothing. In 2004 and 2014, people took the streets and did not leave for several months. day or night, despite the cold winter and the bullets of the usurper. Thanks to self-organization, Ukrainians organized their everyday life, tents, heaters, firewood, food, medicine, security, etc. It was a force of hundreds of thousands of people that could not be defeated. And here's the picture of Maidan, guys. Yeah. But I believe in you. And here the hope begins. And I also believe in you guys. Please listen to this part very, very, like, not carefully, probably. But I believe in you. Many Americans, an echo of the past, come to fight for Ukraine. Unfortunately, some have died and honor them, and we honor them very much. You probably don't know this, but Ukrainian soldiers refer to foreign soldiers as Americans. Without disrespect to other nations, we know who you are. It's just that Americans are fighting in such large numbers, and our long-standing good attitude towards them has become a name for a foreigner. A huge number of Ukrainian soldiers wear patches with the US flag on their uniforms. All this is because of the same life experience I had and because of gratitude for the help of the American people. Yeah. And now I want to address all of you dear rollers. It seems that over the past week, you have donated a record amount of money, and there are many Americans among you. You are the hope for the United States, and do not let us be disappointed in your country. Your actions save not only Ukrainians, but also yourselves. When a forest fire rages, it does not stop by itself. Someone has to put it out. Otherwise, it will reach your home. Your donations are like drops of water that, if you give enough of them, will turn into a rain that will save our planet. Thank you, and please don't stop. Now more than ever, we need your help. I am sure that someday there will come a time when you will need help, and many Ukrainians will do everything to thank you. Glory to Ukraine, and God bless America. Героям слава. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prometheus UA. That was fucking powerful, and yeah, thank you for this confession.